Hi, I'm Joe Bernard. In this video, we're going to learn how to set chapter headings throughout your entire Microsoft Word document, paper, book, or what have you. In our previous video, we learned how to set up page numbers, our even numbers, and also our odd numbers, page numbers, and also how to set our title and subtitle across the even pages. And on this one, we're going to do a continuum on setting up the chapter headings, as we've already set up the chapter heading for our introduction chapter. So let's get started. As you can see, this is the document that we began with, and we don't have any title or subtitles across the top of our title page, and we don't have any numbers on our title page or any of the foregoing pages of our book. We don't have numbers or title and subtitle or chapter headings across our table of contents or numbers. The very first page that we number is our preface page, but we have no chapter headings or title or subtitle across the top of the page. We have number 1 or our even numbers beginning on our preface page, and we have the following page, page 2, beginning all of our even numbers. So throughout the book we get all of our even and odd numbers on their proper page, every other page. This is our introduction chapter. It works just like a chapter. It does not have a title or subtitle heading or a chapter heading at the top of the page, and on the top of all of your pages where a chapter begins, there is no information as far as title and subtitle or chapter heading at the top of the page. We began our first, the title and subtitle runs on every other page, or the even pages, the left hand side of all throughout the entire book. And we began our first chapter, chapter 0, or our introduction chapter heading in our header, and it goes continually throughout this chapter, and right now it's going throughout the entire book until we learn how to delete it and start another chapter heading on a different chapter. And that's what we're going to learn in this video. So let's go to our next chapter. What we're going to do is do a little search for chapter, and our first chapter comes up. And first thing that we're going to do, we want to eliminate this chapter heading from the previous chapter, but before we can do that, we have to break this page and the link between the above information. If we delete this information, this chapter heading right now, it would delete the chapter heading from the above chapter, and we don't want that. The first thing that I like to do is copy the chapter name and drop it into Notepad and eliminate all the code, so we have that handy and ready when we need it. Then we click on the first letter of the page and go to Layout, Breaks, Continuous, and then we double click on the header. Now what we do here in deleting this information, we don't want to happen on the previous pages, so we have to eliminate same as previous by clicking on Link to Previous, and now we can safely delete this information, but we still want to go above and make sure that we properly separated or disconnected this page from the above pages. And as you can see, the chapter heading remains, so we had success in what we did on this page. So now we don't want anything at the top of this new chapter page, but we want the chapter heading to begin on the next odd page. So not the even page, which has the title and subtitle, but we want it on the next odd page. So we double click and close the header. We click on the first letter of the first of the page we want to break. We go to layout, break, continuous, then we double click on our header, and then we have to eliminate same as previous, so that when we do paste this chapter heading in our header, it won't go up to the first page of the chapter. So we click on link to previous and eliminate same as previous, and now we're safe. Only after we do that, we're safe to paste our chapter heading in. We're going to go up anyway just to make sure, for sure, that that chapter heading did not go above. It should not have. Okay, it did not. That means that we met with success in breaking that link. I generally like to tab over and have my chapter heading on this side. So now it's going to appear on that side on every other page, as you can see. Let's do one more chapter, just to make sure you got it. This is chapter 2. We're going to treat chapter 2 exactly like we treated chapter 1. Before we can remove this information out of the header, we must break this page. But before we do that, let's get the chapter heading, copy. We're going to clean the code out of this and have it ready when we need it. So the first thing we do is break this page, continuous, then we click on our header, and when we eliminate this information here, we want to make sure it doesn't happen above. We don't want the same thing to happen on the previous pages, or we'll lose our chapter heading out of the foregoing pages. So we have to first eliminate same as previous, then we can safely delete here. We'll go up to the previous chapter just to make sure that we met with success. The chapter heading of the previous chapter does remain, and so we met with success. And we want to now take the name of this chapter and put it on the very first odd page, not the even page which has the title and the subtitle, but the first odd page. So we double click. The reason that you don't see same as previous here is because we have not broken this page. We must double click, go out of the header, go to the first letter of the page, go to layout, go to breaks and continuous, and now when we double click, you'll see same as previous is there. So you have to, if we would have pasted our chapter heading in without doing that, it would have run back up to the top. That would have been your dilemma. So when you get to this page, you have to remember to do the page break so that you can see same as previous, and then when you see same as previous, you go ahead and break it, and now you're safe to paste in your chapter heading. And I like to take mine to that side of the book. Let's go ahead and go above and make sure that it did not intrude upon our first page of our chapter, and it did not, so we're good. We don't have anything in that header, and so we have Even pages have title and subtitle. Odd pages have your chapter headings. All the way through the book you do the same process. Okay, and that's it. Double click, close the header and the footers, and good luck and God bless, and thank you for watching my video. I am Joe Bernard, the 7 Ages of God.